Do you sometimes feel so unorganized and overwhelmed you kind of want to quit your business? Your clients are late providing you with everything from the files that you need to start their project to the feedback that you need at each stage of their project. When you eventually receive your client's feedback, it's just one vague sentence that doesn't help you at all. And when your projects finish, your clients are still emailing you with dozens of questions. And getting them to pay you on time is like getting your boyfriend to stop binge watching Stranger Things. It's just not going to happen. Sometimes you wonder if it would be easier to get a day job, to work in a studio, to leave all the payment chasing and following up to somebody else and just collect your payslip at the end of each month. I totally understand how that feels, but you can stop feeling this way if you follow my 10-step plan to organizing your freelance business. In fact, you can go from overworked and overwhelmed to organized, to a lighter, brighter, breezier you. So no more chatter. I want to dive straight into this one because I've got a lot of really actionable, high value content and I'm really excited to teach it. So let's just dive in. Step number 1 is to document your process. Now this sounds a bit obvious, but it's usually the one area of business that most freelancers totally overlook. When they think of streamlining their business, their mind goes straight to social media schedulers and editorial calendars. But streamlining your project process comes above all of those things. So I want you to take action. I want you to take 30 minutes today to write down your entire process, from initial inquiry right through to the moment that you and your client part ways. And I want you to ask yourself, are there holes in my process? Is anything missing? What could be improved? What could be removed to simplify the process? And what steps could be combined to simplify the process? So for example, a freelance graphic designer may want to combine the mood board, colour palette and font choice phase so that they present all three of these to the client at the same time. If you're a graphic or web designer, use my design process cheat sheet to help you write out your process. I'll link to that in the description below this video. Now, number 2 is start using a project management tool. When I started out as a freelance designer, I managed all of my clients through email. I had about 300 emails across dozens of threads by the time that their projects were done. It was chaos. The client and I would both be confused. It was difficult to find things that the client had said weeks ago, and it was incredibly hard to organize their login information and find it. Worst of all, it made me look unprofessional to my clients. If you want your clients to see you as the pro that you are, you need to use a project management tool like Asana or Dubsado to organize your projects, files, and communication. I'll link to both of those tools, Asana and Dubsado, and all of my other tool recommendations that I mentioned in this video. I'll link to them all in the description. With PM tools, you and your client can store all communication, files, login details, feedback, and notes in one place. And you can also create tasks for you and your clients, and you can set due dates to them. It's pretty awesome. Number 3 is set up an inbox system. Inbox management seems so hard, right? It's like you try each day to get to inbox 0, and by the time you wake up the next morning, you've got 15 new messages waiting for you. Don't be that freelancer that resents looking at her inbox. I've been there and felt that. And I remember a time when I would actually wince every time I got an email from a client. I just did not want to deal with it. There are 2 solutions to inbox woes. You either get yourself a helpful plugin like Inbox, which is a Google Chrome plugin for Gmail, or you take the simple route and use Gmail's built-in features like their labels, folders, stars, and canned emails to get organized. Now, the plugin that I mentioned, Inbox, is a fantastic inbox management tool. It was actually created by Gmail themselves, and it helps you get through your emails faster by allowing you to look at your attachments without opening an email, bundle similar messages together, set reminders, and tons more good stuff. Number 4, use a client relationship management tool. Most creatives are leaving thousands of dollars on the table. How? Because they're forgetting to follow up with their past clients to see if they need more work. Most of your clients will say yes and hire you again, but only if you remember to follow up. And remembering on your own is almost impossible. I've been there, I know that from experience. You should use a CRM tool to remind you or automate the process completely. I use a tool called Streak to accomplish this. It's a Gmail inbox add-on that helps me to never forget to follow up with my clients. It's actually something that I walk you through setting up in one of the modules of Organize and Automate, my course, which I'll link to again in the description. Number 5, organize your files. If you're anything like me, you screenshot a ton of stuff and just dump it all on your desktop, thinking that you'll be able to find them again one day. Then your desktop gets overloaded with files and your brain gets totally bamboozled. I have a system for files now, but a lot of business owners don't, and that results in them forgetting where certain files are, taking forever to find them, and just feeling all round disorganized. Taking time out once a month or once a week to organize your computer files will help you speed up your workflow big time. I'm creating a video on this soon, so stay tuned for that. Now, number 6 is to use an invoice and contract tool. Tell me, do you send your contract to your client and ask them to print it, sign it, scan it, and send it back? Do you write out each and every line on all of your invoices that you create for your clients? You can use tools like HelloSign to send digital contracts and FreshBooks to send invoices, and I will link to those with the rest of the tools that I recommended in this video in the description below. Number 7, systemize your client onboarding. So there's a lot of stuff involved in client onboarding, and when I first became a freelance graphic designer, I just winged it. I didn't follow a process, I didn't use a project management tool, I didn't really know what I needed to get from my clients before beginning their project. This unorganized process led to my clients always being late with the files that I needed from them. Things like homework, photography, things like that. It also resulted in most of my projects going way over the deadline. Is that something that you can relate to? Streamlining your onboarding process is a part of my course, Organize and Automate. And in there, you'll get a questionnaire that you can send to your clients, a workbook of 11 email scripts that you can use throughout your process, and you'll get a step-by-step process that you can follow to ensure that your clients know what you need from them before starting their design project. Now, number 8, start delegating. When people are told to outsource or hire an assistant, the "I can't afford it" line always pops up. It's something that I said when I was told to outsource about 1 year ago. I didn't think that I could afford it, so I totally dismissed the idea. But if you want to scale and grow your business, you have to outsource. Even if it's just 5 hours a month, having that extra pair of hands to handle tasks that you don't want to do will save you so much time, energy, and money in the long run. Take it from me, it's one of the best things I've done for my business. Number 9, start batching regular tasks. Now, I want to talk to you all about batching. All freelancers should have batch days. A batch day is a day where you handle one task and that task only. For example, I have a batch day, or it's a week actually, just dedicated to content. And it's the best way to be productive and get things done, because batch days allow you and your mind to focus on one task instead of fitting in a million tasks and not doing any of them very well. Number 10, implement a client offboarding system. Now, client onboarding is a popular topic in the online business world, but people rarely ever talk about offboarding. Now, if you're a designer like me, you have to save out 1,000,001 files for your client. And if you're manually doing this, it can take hours. So one step that I teach in Organize and Automate is to use Illustrator actions. So you record yourself saving the file once, and then you just use that action to automatically save the file again and again in the future for other clients. That's just one way that you can speed up your client offboarding, but I also recommend lots of different things to streamline that process, like creating a resource page or a client portal for your clients where you can send them after the project is done, where they can watch video tutorials and they can get links to tools that they may need to use after you're done working with them, or links to other creatives that they may want to work with after you. And I also recommend things like hopping on a call with your client after the project is complete, so that you can train them how to use whatever it is that you've created for them. Wow, there was a lot packed into this video, but you don't have to go through everything all over again. You don't have to write down all the tools that I suggested. They're below this video for you, along with a free cheat sheet called 50 must-have tools for freelancers. Now, if you liked this video, I would really appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to, so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week.